Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Sangeeta Sharma Dhar, Assistant Professor, Department of Social Work, Bhim Rao Ambedkar College, University of Delhi. We are going to discuss today the topic Welfare Administration and Community Engagement from paper Human Resource Development through Community Engagement. Learning outcomes. Reader will be able to understand the concept of social welfare administration. Reader will learn the linkages of community organization as it is reflected in welfare administration. Reader will be able to learn the principles and process of community engagement. Reader will be able to appreciate the importance of public relation in the context of engaging communities in welfare administration. So let's start the introduction. The evolution of or historical development of welfare was deeply rooted in the communities. The issues and problems were resolved within the communities. The history of welfare administration takes us to the ancient times when altruism was the motive of welfare. Altruism is a sentiment where person has a selfless interest in the welfare of others. Welfare was rooted in the communities and the way communities under the able leadership envisaged to bring about social change, initially through social reform and later through social legislation, and finally trying to bring a just social order to achieve the goal of social justice. Altruism was taught through religious scriptures and was more of an individual pursuit which was extended to communities, became welfare. The goal was mandated to be achieved through establishing such a system of governance that marginalized sections were positively discriminated in an otherwise equal opportunity scenario. Establishing a social order where there is equity in a backdrop of highly divisive and diverse country like India was not an easy task. The richness of our culture and diversity of people make it unique. The political system, being a democratic one, allows one to participate in the political process. The agenda of social development in India is politically developed and driven with elected representatives who are paving the path to development. The various ministries and departments are established to make it a reality by administering the processes. We have declared ourselves a welfare state with certain objectives to be achieved. Ironically, such a great political will is difficult to meet as our public or government owned service delivery system is deemed inept due to vastness of our country. Recruiting a huge task force was not financially feasible. In this light, establishment of Central Social Welfare Board CSWB soon after independence in 1953 as an independent body to support the non-governmental organizations in forwarding the agenda of social justice and social development was a step to recognize the value of community participation in the nation development and meeting the goal of welfare. The welfare administration is the service delivery network for disbursing the action plans, programs and schemes of the government for the masses to achieve the goal of social and human development. Welfare Administration Introduction. Besides communities, it was joint family as well as extended family structure that took care of the old, widow, orphan or disabled persons. The basic thread of the fabric of welfare was altruism. Altruism means selfless interest in a welfare of others. This was taught and promoted in religious scriptures, hence became a way of life during ancient times. Charity. Emerging from the religious thoughts, the idea of sparing monetary, agricultural produce as well as service for the poor, destitute and disabled was promoted. State ownership. As the governance of the states became more structured, the Samant, Zamindars, kings and lords started to take interest in the welfare service for the poorer, disabled, orphans and destitute persons of the society. When states started to own these services, the resultant taxes also increased proportionately, resulting the gradual reducing share in the voluntary efforts and charity by the common people. The state ownership meant that the program of welfare became more organized, systematic and need-based. It also meant that the data be generated so as to have an assessment of the deserving person. An indiscriminate charity had led to vagrancy and work shirking culture, which needed to be contained. Social welfare services respond to the needs of the society and its members for health, education, and economic and social well-being. Some view social welfare as the front line support to enable individual to cope successfully with the changing economic and social environment and to assure the stability and development of a social institution. Ideally, societies use institutions to provide all citizens with opportunity to participate fully in society and to achieve their maximum potential. Social welfare addresses the general well-being and addresses universal needs of the population. State ownership. Historical accounts of the regime of King Ashoka and Bindusar as well as Shah Jahan explains the welfare measures of these kings. During East India Company and regime of the Queen, the economic needs of the regime led to welfare measures. Post-independence. As we were striving for a just social order to achieve the goal of social justice, this goal was mandated to be achieved through establishing such a system of governance that marginalized sections were positively discriminated in an otherwise equal opportunity scenario. Indian political system, being a democratic one, allows one to participate in the political process. Welfare. Our constitution declared us a welfare state. A welfare state is a system whereby state undertakes to protect the health and well-being of its citizens, especially those in financial or social needs, by means of grants, pensions and other benefits. Social Welfare Administration defined. John C. Kidney defines social welfare administration as the process of transforming social policy into social services, a two-way process. Number one, transforming policy into concrete social services, and number two, the use of experience in recommending modification of policy. This definition, of course, encompasses the idea that administration is the process of transforming policies into action programs. US Department of Health, Education and Welfare. In the current views of social welfare, two concepts predominate: the residual and developmental. The first holds that social welfare activities should come into play only when the normal structures of society break down. This places social welfare activities in a residual role, ameliorating the breakdown and filling gaps. The second and for more promising view of social welfare defines welfare activities as a frontline function of modern industrial society in a positive, collaborative role with other major social institutions working towards a better society. Harley Trecker interprets social work administration as a process of working with people in ways that release and relate their energies so that they use all available resources to accomplish the purpose of providing needed community service and programs. Now let us have a look at the welfare needs. India has a population, according to Worldometer, 1.3 million people. 32.8% of the population is urban. Our public or government owned service delivery system is deemed inept due to vastness of our country. Recruiting a huge task force by the government machinery was not financially feasible. Now let us come to have a look at the social welfare services. The social welfare services responds to the needs of the society and its member for health, education, economic and social well-being. Approaches to welfare administration. Residual approach. This believes that welfare applies only when family, economic or political structure break down. This is criticized as being a stopgap arrangement leading to ad hocism in service delivery. Approaches to social welfare. Integral or institutional view. This view recognizes welfare as an integral function of a modern industrial society that provides service as citizens' rights. Indian approach. In India, welfare services are derived from our constitution where we have services for the entire population. But special groups which are socially or economically disadvantaged are also provided with special services, programs and schemes to ensure equity. In India, we are following a mix of both approaches. Defining social welfare. Hence, we can define social welfare administration is a cyclic process of facilitating the formulation of appropriate social policies, their conversions into objectives and targets, and facilitating the administrative structure towards implementation of action plan with inbuilt mechanism for evaluation and assessment of the intervention on the significant people to help revision of policies. Scope of social welfare. Societies use the institutions of social welfare to provide all citizens with opportunities to participate fully in society to achieve their maximum potential. It is directly concerned with treatment and prevention of social problems, development of human resource, improvement of quality of life. Scope of social welfare is aimed towards individual as well as institutions to maintain social system. So, as we can see that this system is in sync with each other. Any change in one part of the system leads to corresponding change in the other parts of the system. Let us see the difference between social service and social welfare. Social service for every member of the society. Social welfare is for weaker and vulnerable sections of the society. Social service is a cooperative action. Social welfare is an individual as well as cooperative action. Social service is fulfilling the needs and solving the problems. Social welfare is maintenance of minimum desirable standard of living. Principles of welfare administration. A continuous and dynamic process, an evolving and iterative process, a process set into motion in order to accomplish a common purpose or goal. Resources of people and material harnessed to achieve the common goal, and achieved through coordination and cooperation, planning and controlling. Tasks and functions of welfare administration. Post-corp. Luther Gulick has given this formula post-corp. When we expand it, it becomes planning, organizing, staffing, directing, coordination, record keeping, budgeting. Planning. According to Urwick, planning is a mental predisposition to do things in an orderly way, to think before acting and to act in the light of facts rather than guesses. Planning is deciding best alternatives among other to perform different managerial functions in order to achieve predetermined goal. Organizing. Organization can be understood in two forms, one as a verb and another as a noun. As a noun, it becomes an entity, a structure. Looking at the word as a verb makes it an activity to be performed in day-to-day functioning of the structure. Organization can be understood as a collective effort to optimize the outcome of any input. An organization is the form of every human association for the attainment of a common purpose. An organization divides work among the members, establishes standards of practices, transmits standard authoritative decisions, provides a communication system, and trains and orients the members, etc. Organization itself is such a huge function of management that it itself has its own 14 principles about which we will not speak right now. Let us move to staffing. Staffing is concerned with placement of the right person at the right place. This results in efficiency and effectiveness of the organization. Staffing entails everything that comes within recruitment and superannuation. Directing. Directing is a major administrative function primarily related to instructions, feedback and clarification. A healthy communication between the director and staff is a prerequisite to it. Coordination. Coordination implies the prevention of both duplication and overlapping so as to avoid administrative waste of efforts, manpower and resources, and to pool resources and experiences in dealing problems and in achieving common objectives of social welfare program. The objective of coordination is to facilitate better performance and greater administrative efficiency in the execution of social policy. Recording. It is also known as maintaining records. It is one of the most important functions of the administration as it ensures continuity, record maintaining, follow up, guide future plan of action as well as helps in assessing the impact of the intervention. It also creates history of the organization. It provides base for future course of action. Budgeting. A budget is a complete financial forecast based on available data about the financial conditions of the agency during the coming year. It is a process of determining distribution of funds for certain defined welfare services based on an examination of needs, effectiveness of the program to deal with them, and the relevant importance attached to them by the community. It is an estimate of the proposed expenditure for a specific period and the purpose and the proposed means of securing the income required. As one of the tools of financial administration, a budget is a basic means of controlling the program as well as the funds. Welfare administration and community. Welfare administration has its manifestations in the community. A well-planned, organized program of the government will certainly have a presence in the community of beneficiaries and other stakeholders. Welfare administration and community continued. A community engagement is inherent in the principles of welfare administration. In the same way as communities are field of action as well as intervention for the welfare administration. Communities at a glance. Features of a community. Communities defined as people living in a geographical area who share a common life and are affected by common problems. They usually are a cohesive group with a we feeling. Ecosystem view. The ecosystem's view establishes the relationship between individual and his physical and social environment. This is a blend of systems theory and ecological view. Principles of community organization, Dunham. First principle is democracy and social welfare. Community roots for community programs. Third, citizens' understanding, support and participation in professional service. 4. Cooperation. 5. Social welfare programs. 6. Adequacy, distribution and organization of welfare services. Principles of community organization as given by Ross. First, discontent with existing conditions in the community must initiate and or nourish development of the association. Number 2, discontent must be focused and channeled into organization, planning and action in respect to specific problems. Number 3, discontent must be widely shared in the community. Number 4, the association must involve leaders, both formal and informal, identified with and accepted by major subgroups in the community. The association must have goals and methods and procedures of high acceptability. The programs of the association should include some activity with an emotional content. Next, the association should seek to utilize the manifest and latent goodwill which exists in the community. Next, the association must develop active and effective lines of communication within the association and between the association and the community. Next, the association should seek to support and strengthen groups which it brings together in cooperative work. Next, the association should be flexible in its organizational procedures without disrupting its regular decision making routines. Next, the association should develop a pace of work in line with existing conditions in the community. Next, the association should seek to develop effective leaders. And the last, the association must develop strength, stability and prestige in the community. Point of convergence leads to community engagement. So now we see that welfare administration and community organization are converging at a point. The convergence of the two is possible only in the presence of communication lines. Community engagement continuum. The first part of community engagement continuum is outreach. In this, communication flows from one to another to inform. Here, entities coexist, community is informed, communication channels are established. Second part is consult. In this, communication flows to the community and then back. Third part is involve. Here, communication flows and sharing of information on issues takes place. Entities cooperate with each other. Next is collaborate. Here, communication flow is bidirectional. Entities form bidirectional communication channel. Partnership building, trust building takes place. And the last part is shared leadership. Here, there is a very strong bidirectional relationship. So, final decision making is at the community level. So, entities have formed strong partnership structures and strong bidirectional trust is built. The motivating factor for any community to participate in any kind of a program is number one, to play an active role in bettering their own lives, fulfilling social or religious obligations, feeling a need for a sense of community and wanting cash or in-kind rewards. Recognition is also one of the very important motivating factor. Public relations. Public relation is the connect which connects the welfare administration with the community engagement. Public relation is planned, persuasive communication designed to influence significant publics. PR is the management function which evaluates the public attitudes, identities and policies, procedures of an organization with the public interest and executes a program of action across public understanding and acceptance. It is the potent tool to elicit community engagement in welfare administration. Facilitating community engagement, capacity building. Role of the organization is to build capacity of the people to solve their problem themselves. Empowering community. This is possible when mentoring and hand-holding of the willing and motivated people is done by community worker. And coalition building. This is possible only when communication between the organization and association or the NGO is very strong and two-way as suggested in the community engagement continuum model. Summary. Social welfare administration is successful only when community engagement converges with it, so that the planning, implementation as well as the evaluation of the plan is a cooperative effort so that the community for which it was designed participate in it and benefit from it. Thank you.